Hey everyone, it's Cree. I'm back again for Conversations with Cree. Last Monday was my first live, and we had a great conversation. I think um, I know it wasn't too many people on last week, but I hope a lot of you went and rewatched the recording or whatever of the live. I have been receiving a lot of feedback, a lot of good feedback, so that's making me feel really good today and makes me want to continue because I'm telling you, just being live and going on this platform is very uncomfortable for me. But I'm going to push through and I'm going to continue because I think by telling my story and having these conversations is going to actually help someone. So if I can help anyone, just one person, then I've done my job. So today I'm going to start with a verse, which I did last week as well. And the verse is Proverbs 4:23. And it says, keep your heart with diligence, for out of spring the issue of life. I'm going to read that again. Keep your heart with diligence, for out of it springs the issues of life. So the meaning of that is the heart is the source of good and evil, and it's important to guard it. I believe no matter what happens to us in life, if we keep our hearts good, we can and we will always be good. So no matter what you've been through, your circumstances, what people have done to you, if you stay a pure heart and just be a good person, the person God made you to be, I really believe that, you are the person that's winning. The people that's out here willfully hurting others and doing things, you know, their time will come for, circumstances to catch up with them, but you don't change who you are for anyone. And it's been many a times that I felt like I had been done wrong or people had did things that wasn't so nice. And I always would tell my husband, I wish I could be more like these people because then maybe I won't be hurt so much. But it's just not who God made me to be. So I continue to be who I am, love, with my big heart that God gave me. And things are working out just fine. Also, um, a big part of that, I believe, is also self love, which I talked about last week a lot. We all need to learn how to love ourselves in a way, or how God loves us. And that would definitely help us move forward in this life because, especially in these times, times are so hard. There's so much going on in this world. It will make you question a lot and give up. But with just practicing self love for yourself and always putting those things in you and not looking for anyone else to do that definitely will help. Um, but also removing people and things that don't serve you. That is just fine to, move away from people that you feel like are not, don't have your best interest, that's constantly doing the same things. And what I've come to realize that I haven't really had to remove anybody because God has done it for me. And it's so interesting because in Sunday school, I was speaking to them about that. And I'm like, they was saying that, remove people from your life that's not serving you, that has bad energy, that's causing, a lot of havoc in your life. And I'm like, honestly, I haven't had to really remove anyone. God has done that for me. And my church member told me, God knows your heart. So if he knows your heart, he sees, you know, what you need and what you're moving towards. And a lot of people will not be able to go with you to your next season. So he remove them for you. You don't even have to worry about it. So with that word, I was like, okay then, God, I see you. Because I was trying to figure it out. I'm telling you. So I want to recap a little bit from last week because I know some people might have not seen it. If you can, please go rewatch because it was good. But a small recap is basically I talked about my teenage pregnancy at 14, and it was secret from my mom. Um, I went through the whole situation by myself. I never told any adults. Only people that knew were some friends. I had a miscarriage months into my pregnancy and in the bathroom, and I never got any medical help. And I just went on like nothing happened. And it's because of God's grace on my life, I believe, is why I'm here today and still able to continue, and to be here and do the things I'm doing, have children, and I'm just so thankful. But one big thing that I touched on was just going through those type of things as a child creates childhood trauma. And I know these days we're getting more um, in tune with what that is and actually going to therapy, talking about things that's bothering us and trying to heal. That's the big word. We need to heal because when we walk around with those things built up and we have pushed them down and we react to how people treat us or things trigger us, we have no idea why. So today, I want to touch more on the last subject, but also talk about how going through those things, um, the fear, the silence, as a young child, how that shaped me as an adult, how that had me moving, you know, in my adulthood or young adulthood to adulthood with relationships or just keeping things to myself because that's something I had done in the past and that's all I knew. So fear as a child caused fear as an adult. Childhood trauma affects you as an adult, which I just spoke on. With me dealing with that particular situation, honestly, I don't know if I seen it as trauma back then because as a child, I just went through it. I survived it. And to me, once everything had happened, I moved on. Honestly, that was one of the most traumatizing things I had dealt with. Now that I know what trauma is, but as a young adult growing up, I've dealt with things. That wasn't the only thing. I've dealt with heartache. I've dealt with loss, grief. All those things as a child. So if you don't heal from those things or get help for those things, you carry them with you through life, and that is just such a horrible thing or a horrible place to be in your life. Um, but honestly, in my 40s is when I really started to realize that what I had dealt with at such a young age as 14 was definitely trauma. Just going through therapy, talking to people, just getting the story out, just talking about it. Because that's something I just kept bottled up for so many years. And that's never okay to do. It's not. And obviously you're not supposed to just talk to anybody about it, but you talk to someone that you trust. Talk to a professional that can give you the tools that you need to work through those things that you're dealing with. So many relationships end because of people dealing with trauma and not knowing and not doing the work to heal. So secondly, being silenced as a child caused me to not ask for help when going through struggles as an adult. Now that's real. So when you are so conditioned to not have someone there, in my thoughts, I didn't have anyone that I could look for to support me in those type of ways. When it came to my mom, yeah, she was there and she could do what she could do. My father wasn't in my life like that, so I really didn't have any real male role models that was in my life. Now that I think about things, so a lot of the things that I dealt with, I felt like, okay, I just got to do this on my own because that's what I had always done. Um, to the point where I don't think, and yeah, and if I did trust someone enough to be like, okay, I'm going to open up to them, whether that be, a significant other, a family member, or just a friend, and then they hurt you or they're not there how you think they should show up for you, that makes you want to revert back to how you were doing things in the first place. Do it on your own. So therefore, you can count on yourself. You don't want the disappointment of others. Excuse me. So, honestly, coming into adulthood, and doing everything on my own, thinking that I had to, I don't think I stopped doing that until I actually got with my husband. And he showed me a different avenue of what support looked like. And it was just so refreshing. So at that point, it took time, of course, us being together and years of being together, even until our marriage, before I could really 100% put all my trust in someone. So it definitely plays a part from childhood to adulthood. So don't think it doesn't. With healing and living life, I have learned that it's okay to ask for help. That goes along with the same thing I was speaking of with support. So, yes, I never wanted to ask for help. Never, ever. And when I had to, it was the hardest thing I ever had to do. But it's okay, you guys, to go ask for help. If you're struggling with anything, it may not be somebody that you know that's personal to you, that's in a relationship, or someone that you know from your everyday life. It's people out here that can help. And I know today is hard to find the resources that we need, but you never know until you ask. Even just like me on here telling my story about some of the things I've been through, and we will have more conversations because it's been some things, and I know some people can relate. Just me doing this is letting you all know, or anyone that will see this know, it's okay. We all been through things. We all, are living life, and life can be hard. But as long as you putting your best foot forward every day, getting up and doing the best you can, showing up for you, being the best version of you, then that's all we can do. So never think that you shouldn't ask for help from anyone. It is a thing that everybody should do and be comfortable with doing, because we all need help at some point. When you're not used to having support, you don't look for it. So I spoke on that already. When you're not used to it, you just don't look for it. You get used to doing things by yourself. But the biggest support in my life comes from God. And I'm going to tell you all that God is real. And I know it's so many things that's telling you otherwise out here. So many different, religions, so many different people believing in different things. And I can only speak from my experiences and what I have witnessed in my own life. So I'm not going to preach to anyone, and I'm not on here to do that. I'm on here just to let you know what my experience is with God and what he has done for me. And I know he would do it for you too if you just allow him in. So from a young age, I never was really in church. I would go, but not consistently. So I always knew of God, and I accepted Jesus Christ. I honestly I didn't get baptized though until I actually went away to basic training. So I was 18 years old. And I still think about that experience every day because it was just wonderful. And I got a story about when I went to basic training, but that's for later. But God is so good, and ever since I have really just let go and let him, and then inviting him into my life, and I mean, he was blessing me even before that. So just imagine, you see what he did for me at 14 years old, and I never really 100% said, God, I'm just letting you in. I'm giving it to you until maybe 2018. And I'm just going to let y'all know that life is beautiful. Life can be beautiful. And I know it can be dark and it can be lonely and we go through things, but that's the storm that once you make it to the other end, it's nothing but greatness at the end of that. He's preparing us with these trials and tribulations to be the people that he wants us to be and who he's brought us here to be. We all have a purpose here on this earth, and sometimes we're not ready to be in a position that he wants to put us in, so he has to mold us, and that's just what's happening. And I can testify to that because everything I've been through in my life, from every point, I can actually go back and think about, okay, this happened. Why did this happen? This was such a hard time in my life. God, why did I have to go through that? But looking at now and the accomplishments I have, accomplished, the things I've done, just raising my children, still being here to talk about that, to have children after what I went through, to have a wonderful husband and a wonderful support system, that God has really been so good to me, and he continues to bless me, my family, and I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful every single day. I'm thankful. Um, so I didn't have the tools as a child or young adult to navigate what I had gone through. Um, I just didn't. A lot of us right now in our older age still don't have the tools to navigate what we've been through. Because, for one, we don't like to even say we've been through anything. A lot of us walk around like, oh, the way I'm acting is okay. Because you can't see past your own self to see that the things you're doing are not okay. You're losing friendships, you losing family, maybe opportunities because you stuck in your ways, and that's not okay. Sometimes it's okay to talk about things, and I'm not talking about getting on social media and putting all your business out there. Not anything like that. But just being able to, if you don't want to talk to anyone, you can journal. Journaling is a wonderful method of getting things out that's bothering you. And maybe once you put it on paper, you can kind of see like, oh my goodness, that is something that's going on. And then maybe you can go talk to someone about it as a like a therapist or whatever. If you in church, your pastor, your mom, your dad, whoever is in your life that way that supports you. But journaling can look all kinds of ways. I don't write in a journal every single day. I actually go on my phone in my notes, and every time that I feel like I have something that's building up, I let it out in those notes, and then I just save them. And I've been doing that since 2018. I go back periodically and read them, and I just see so much growth from that point to now. But it helps me so much to get whatever that's going on inside out. And that's without me having to talk to anyone. It's just me being with me and God. And I just, put it on paper or in my notes. So I hope that, if you haven't tried that method, journaling, give it a try. And you'll see how helpful that could be for you, just to decompress, just to deal with some of the things you deal with. If you're angry about something, before you just go all off and let people have it, think about it. Just sit with it for a moment. Put it on paper. I promise you it helps. Okay. I don't see nobody talking to me today. But that's all right. That's all right. We'll get more conversations going as time goes. So courage came with doing the work to heal, but also building a strong relationship with God. Realizing that every experience has prepared me for now. And I just kind of spoke on that before I even got to this point. Every experience in my life, I believe it has prepared me for now. So even with me coming on YouTube and going live and doing these conversations with Cree Mondays, that's something that I never thought about doing up until recently, and God put that on my heart to do, because not only is it healing for me telling my story, is healing me, but it's going to help somebody else that hears my story and know that they're not alone. And there's so many stories to be told. My stories are my stories, so I can only tell mine. But there's so many other people out here. All of us have been through things, and we need to start helping other people by talking. Like women is a big one. All of us, we deal with so much, and there's so many topics that, just since I've been doing hair, that I talk about with my clients, and I just be like, wow, I never thought to even ask anyone about that or how that affected them, especially different ages, from teens to young adult to mid-age, which when I am now, to older. And when it comes to different topics about our health, parenting, careers, marriage, and just relationships, period. So just think about that. When you don't want to, you think you want to hold stuff in, or no, nobody cares. You just never know what can be, who can be helped, or, you can be helped just by telling your story. So the purpose of this whole platform that I'm building is to help others to heal. I want to set a positive example and inspire others to seek their own passion and purpose by allowing God into your life. So I don't know if anyone knows, but before becoming a cosmetologist, I really had aspirations to go to school to become a psychologist. And not that I want to be a psychologist per se. I studied psychology for a little while, but I think my goal was to become a counselor, and I wanted to help people that way because I always knew and felt that therapy was important for us to be able to heal with what we've been through, and especially since COVID. Because since COVID, people have really not been okay, especially our children. I mean, it's just so much, and we're gonna see more and more how that affected us, moving forward in 5, 10 years from now, which we're almost at 5 years, but and you can just see how the world is and how people are so temperamental, everybody's on edge. But I always really had an aspiration to go to school to be a counselor. Obviously that didn't happen yet because I'm never gonna say never. But me being able to have the platform I have as a cosmetologist and speaking to people who sit in my chair every day is very much fulfilling that what I have been desiring to do for many years now. So with the conversations I've had with them, a lot of them come back not only just because they're getting their hair done, but because of the environment that I provide and the conversations that we can have, and they know they're in a comforting environment. It's safe, it's confidential, and we just sit and talk. And we talk about any and everything most times. And so many people say they're so comfortable talking to me. And I never understood that, but I believe that's something that God has placed within me that makes people feel comfortable to just be in my presence. And what I like to label that is called Cree time. So this is just an extension, and it's just the beginning of what that's going to look like. Hopefully, the more I'm on here and the more conversations I have, more people will come in, more people will watch, and more people will be, blessed by what I'm doing here. Um, so yeah, I think that's all I have for today or tonight, this evening. Um, I hope that, moving forward, I can have more people that's going to be on so we can have more interaction because that's what I really would desire to happen. But I'm going to keep posting, and I like that I'm doing this on YouTube because the videos will be saved so people can come back and watch if they're not able to be on here, live. But that's it for now. So thank you all again for all your continued support. Like I said, all my family, all my friends, my customers, my clients. I just really, really appreciate all the encouragement I've been receiving, all the beautiful words, all the text about the live from last week. Really means so much to me because this is something that's so out of my comfort zone. It really is. But I'm so happy that, God has gave me a platform that I could come on here and, have these conversations with you all. So yeah, so I'm going to get off of here now, and I will see you all Monday, same time, same place. Love y'all. See you later.